what are your positive signals, right? Because I'm a big believer that whether you're doing a trade show, activation, host conference, whatever it may be, like I'm just a big believer in, yes, there's goals, there's objectives, there's ROI, there's that kind of measurement, but also like there's positive signals in the event and coming out of the event. So
Mhm.
what for you all at Gainsight and through Pulse, what are some positive signals? And then what are like some objectives and measurables that you're looking to sort of achieve?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've definitely spent the last 40 minutes or so talking about Pulse like a big party, which it is. And we definitely try to make it that way. But
Yeah.
at the heart of that lies Gainsight's business goals. And so obviously we go in with hefty goals, and sure, attendee numbers, yes, but it's also just for us like the quality of people there. So while I say that it's not a Gainsight user event, at the end of the day, do we want everybody at Pulse to be a Gainsight user? Yes, that's
Yeah, of
great.
course.
But so we obviously have goals in the numbers of like of how many of our customer accounts are we bringing to Pulse, how many prospects are we bringing. We make sure that if possible, every single customer and or prospect is meeting with a Gainsight
Mhm.
representative, either their CSM, their AE. If it warrants, we put them in the room with our CCO, our CEO, our CMO, some type of executive, because the FaceTime is what you need to really help drive deals forward or to help save somebody on the verge of churning. Is they really just want those few minutes to kind of have open Q&A or ask me
Yeah.
anything time with one of your execs. And so we utilize the 2 days of Pulse, and hopefully they're feeling excited from being at Pulse, those moments that we're creating. And then we put them in a room and say nice things about Gainsight and hopefully walk away with a renewal or a new deal or a commitment to another product in our suite. So Pulse itself, while we're creating those experiences, the business goals are really what drive that forward and is why Pulse exists. So we do a lot of in-person meetings, but again, it's like if somebody is coming and not having a great time at Pulse itself, they're less inclined to have a good conversation with your team, period. We have a Gainsight booth also where we have lots of conversations, the traditional like trade show style setup where our sales team, our SDR team, SC team is there doing demos and such. But because you've got the energy of Pulse that surrounds those conversations,
Mhm.
we've got stats where we find that deals actually close faster or have sort of a shorter time in our pipeline from attendees that have gone to Pulse after the fact. And so we've got some numbers, just, overall sentiment of prospects or customers that come to Pulse traditionally has deal influence in shorter deal cycles for sure. So that's always positive for us and why our sales team continues to humor us getting people to Pulse.
I think that's a good and very specific example for people that you have deal acceleration, right? Because I think like that's what I lean back to when I talk about pipeline impact, right? A lot of people get
Mhm.
very stuck at their events of leads, net new sales, new pipeline, things like that. And it's like, well, that's just one side of what goes on in an event.
Yeah.
They're from prospects to customers to deals that are in the pipeline. I mean, talk about your average deal size, right? Average deal size or deal acceleration. There's just a lot of things that go on inside of an event. And if you can capture those, now you're starting to really be able to measure ROI and understand the positives and what I like to call the positive signals that are moving this event forward.
Yeah, and we really enable our sales and CS teams before and after the event when it comes to the content. So we say, you're dealing with X customer, and for them, they're this challenge that they've been facing. Well, guess what? We've got a session for them at Pulse. Encourage them to go to that session, right?
Yeah.
Where they can sit and hear real time about how another similarly sized company who faced the same challenge was able to solve for it. So we
Mhm.
make sure, we release the agenda, we come up with attendee guides, and we really encourage our teams ahead of time to be talking to their customers and prospects about what are they the most interested in hearing and driving them to the right sessions. And then after the fact, because obviously we get session data from who attends which sessions, we can see so-and-so didn't attend this session, but this content would have been super helpful for their account. Well, guess what? We send them the recording and we say, hey,
Oh,
we
wow.
really
Yeah.
think that this recording is going to help you. So we definitely make sure to enable our teams before and after to really use the content to drive deal conversations forward, which has proven to be very valuable.
That's awesome.